Today is Saturday, August 13th, 2022. It is also day 187 of Blender, and today I'm going to do my favorite thing, which is a text animation with geometry nodes. So I'm going to hide the spreadsheet, click on New for a new geometry node system, disconnect the input from the output, and then Shift A to get a string to curves node, and basically that's my text. I'm going to connect that to the output so I can see it in the viewport, but I don't see it yet because I have nothing set as my text or my string, which can be used interchangeably. So I'm going to say something like breakthrough, I don't know, it's just random. And then I'll go here and I'll do Shift A and add a transform node, and I'm just going to change the rotation of the x to be 90 so it rotates 90 degrees along the x-axis, which in this case is the red axis. Alright, and then I'll go back to the string to curves node, and over here in the folder I'm just going to click on that, and I'm going to go to desktop, and I'm going to go to my fonts, and I'm going to use the origin tech demo regular and open that font, and it's going to look something like that. I downloaded this from thefont.com. It's by Ron & Design, and I always have it linked in the logs. Anyway, now I'll kind of fill it in, so I'll do Shift A and get a fill curve node, put that in here, change the fill type to n-gons, and then I'll do Shift A and get a extrude mesh node, and change the offset value to 0.1, and what that does, it just adds thickness to the letters. But I noticed though at the back it's not filled, and that's a problem. But the way we can fix that is by doing Shift A and add a join geometry node, and that joins both the extrusion mesh and also the fill curve once I connect it into the geometry. Beautiful. Alright, and then now I'll just do Shift A and do set material to set the way that it's looking. I'm just going to select the first material, and then I'm going to go to shading. And then in Chrome, I'm just going to open Colors, which is a really nice website that gives you like a palette generator. I'm just going to wait until I like what I see. I'm kind of going for something like a dark scheme of colors. Let's see, maybe, definitely black, and then maybe this color, maybe this one, maybe this one. I don't know, these colors have like literally nothing to do with each other. I'll do like black and green. So I'll have that set up for me. So now this is what it's going to look like. And all I have to do is use Shift A and get a color ramp. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to randomly assign some colors to each of the to the letters. So I'll also do Shift A and get an object information node. So the colors that I'm going to assign are going to be here. So I'll do that by kind of selecting the first one. It's already black, so that's fine. I'm just going to select the green one then, and then just select the little tag, and then change the box, and change the hex code, and paste that in there. And then I don't want it to be a linear gradient of those colors. I want it to be either or color, so I'll change it to constant, and then I'll make sure to connect that to the base color. But I want them to be randomly assigned, because right now it's just all black. So in order to be randomly assigned, I'll just select the object information node, random, and then connect that to the factor. And now it's going to be either or color, so I'll just go ahead and make sure that it's kind of like maybe 50-50. Kind of see how that works out. And maybe another color would also work. If I could just get one, hold on, maybe white. I could do white. Oops, let me just change FFF, should be white. And then something like that. I don't know, does that make sense? I would want the B to be, oops. Just kind of play around until I like what I see. Oh, this one's nice. Maybe, I don't know, I don't think that three colors would look good. Interesting. How about I just add another one and just paste it in here, have that kind of be there, and now it's like acting. It would make sense if it was like more than two colors, but alright, I'll come back. I'm going to play around with this. Alright, so I just kind of like had a thought. So this would actually be really cool if there was a brand called ACO and their catchphrase happened to be like breakthrough. And so you see breakthrough, but then you really see the ACO logo, like the name of the company highlighted. So that happened by chance, but we're going to go with it. Anyway, the positions are, I have 0.119 for one green, and then I have 0.232 for one green, and then I have 0.408, and then I have 0.398 for the green. So that's how that is. Okay, so that's pretty much that for that. Then I'm going to actually, oh, hold on. Let me think. I also wanted it to have, if I go to material properties, if there's any way I can change that to emission, it wouldn't be, so it can't shine anymore. Let me do Control Z again. And let me copy these nodes, change that to emission, and then paste that in here, just connect the color to the B here. Alright, okay, that works. And so basically what this does, it allows the letters to shine through. So I'm going to go back to layout. I'm going to go to, let's see, I think it's render properties, and select ambient occlusion and bloom, turn that on. And then I'm going to go to render preview over here. And then I'm just going to do Shift A, add a plane, S to scale it, G to grab it, X to grab along the X-axis, which is the red one. And then I'm going to press Tab to go into edit mode, edge select, and then select the back edge, E to extrude, and then Z to extrude along the Z-axis, which is the blue one. And then back into object mode by pressing Tab. I'll go to the wrench icon over here, add modifier bevel, increase the amount, increase the segments, and basically what I'm doing right now is a backdrop. And then I'll do apply, right click shade smooth, and then SX to scale right there. And then I'll go and press the button under the escape key and hover over front and kind of just do that a little bit. Control Alt Numpad 0. If that doesn't work, go to edit, preferences, inputs, and then make sure emulate numpad is on. If that still doesn't work, make sure you have a camera. If you don't, do Shift A and add a camera. Alright, so I'll just kind of Control Alt Numpad 0 to get out of that view, press the middle mouse button. To go back into the view, press 0. So I'll get a little bit more outwards, more to the right. And I think that looks good. Maybe just a little bit, maybe bring this down, because it's not as if I'm going to, oops, too big. Alright, I think that's fine. And then let me make sure that if I go into shading, I can go and select the backdrop and then click on new and just literally delete that. But then I won't be able to see those. Interesting. So I'll just change this to be something like 30. Oh, that's really interesting. Only the AK and the O's are shining through and not the black colors. Interesting. Interesting. That's a new one. Well, that makes sense because black isn't a color, so maybe instead of black, let me think. What if I just gave this what if I just go back to geometry nodes and then click on here, add a new one. Oh, not geometry nodes. Oh, excuse me. Control Z. I meant shading. And then, let's see. Go and delete this one. And then I guess I could do like an actual color. Base color. But then I know for a fact that the BR is not going to shine. I mean, the black letters are not going to shine through. Which makes sense, obviously. So maybe instead of black, let me do white. And then hopefully that works. So I'll change that to FFF, which is white. And then I'll change this to FFF. And then make sure that this is, delete that. And then I can go back into render properties, actually go to layout. 0, and I think that is way too much, so I'll go here and kind of decrease it here. Okay, and then maybe just a little less, and I think that's fine, like 3.4. Okay, so now for the animation part, I'm going to pull up the timeline. My video is going to be 80 frames, so I'm going to set the end to 80, and then at the first position, which is the first frame, let me go back into the text thingy. I'll just copy 3.4 and I'll set it to 0 for now, and then I'll insert that. So I'll press I as I hover over the strength, and then I'm basically inserting that, strength at 0, and then by the end, if I go to keyframe 80, I want it to end up being like 3.4, and so I'm going to press I to insert that strength, and now if I just play it, it'll like increasingly increase its strength, no pun intended. Anyway, I'm also going to select on the timeline, press T, linear, so that it loops, and then that's literally it, honestly. Okay, so let me go into output properties, select a folder for my images to render. So what's today's date? 8/13/22, and I did breakthrough, and so accept that. Make sure file format is PNG. Control S. Oh, I haven't even saved it. That's great. 8/13/22, and then save Blender file. Okay, saved it in the wrong folder, but that's fine. Render animation, and then all the 80 frames should render as PNG images in that folder that I just created. Should be here, so you can see them rendering. Okay, we'll wait then. Alright, so now that all the images are rendered, I'm going to X out of here, and then at the top I'm going to scroll down, go to plus, video editing, move this all the way to the left or to the beginning, and then go to add image sequence, and then I'm just going to go and select that folder that I did, select the first image, scroll down, shift select the last image, add image strip, and basically what Blender is doing is just adding all those images together, which is pretty cool. And then you go back to output properties, go to a folder, open a new folder or create a new folder, call it video or whatever you want to call it. This is where the video is going to render into. Accept, change the file format to be FFmpeg video. Under encoding, change the container to be MPEG4, and change the output quality to be high quality. Control S, and then go back to the top, render animation, and the video should pop up literally in a few seconds, depending on your device, GPU. Let me just go ahead and open it. Okay, and this is the final result. And that's pretty much it. Anyway, bye.